I'm gonna fuck the ghost. I'm gonna fuck the ghost and nobody can stop me. Hi, I'm Stalky, and I'm gonna fuck this ghost right here. I'm gonna fuck him good. I'm gonna, whoo boy, I'm gonna marry him. I'm gonna hold his hand. We're gonna like read in the library and drink tea together. I'm gonna make these man's dreams come true. We're back with the Ghost of Gallagher Hall. Last time, we met our groom-to-be, and now we're gonna help him plan a wedding to us. As we walk, I re-examine my surroundings. It really is hard to believe how much of a glow-up this place got.
Hey, partner. How are we holding up?
I'm holding hands with a ghost, Taylor. I'm doing pretty good. Splendid. I've always wanted to hold hands with the man I love. Elias casts me a sideways glance and blushes. I don't have the heart to tell him that I don't really mean it. Shut up! Bad dialogue! Wrong dialogue tree! I mean it! I 100% mean it! We pass through the foyer on our way out to the other end of the manor. 2 hours I was knocked out for, huh? Elias is practically dragging me at this point, and I will let him do that! This set of hallways is almost identical to the other end. Sans the glass double doors in the corner. Elias phases through so he can unlock and hold them open for me.
After you.
A gentleman! I'm dying. I take a step through the doorway, entering a world of flora. Seems the greenhouse still works as intended.
You shuddered a little. Is there a chill, my dear?
Elias, babe, if you're about to offer me your jacket, I'll lose my shit. No, quite the opposite. Why, I'm surprised at how lovely the greenhouse looks already. Perhaps I'm exaggerating a bit. I can't even tell what plants used to grow in these planters. It's all weed. Elias was just a big toker. He had that ganja. But my bouquet would be here. And Elias could likely turn this from a depressing to delightful before I could blink. Do you need any help restoring this greenhouse to its former glory? I have a green thumb. I have killed every single houseplant I've ever owned. That's a lie, actually. I have a houseplant. His name is Jim, and he is a money tree, and he is luscious and beautiful. I love Jim. And there's also his brother, Herman, who I frequently tell I'm disappointed in him. I verbally abuse Herman.
I did, but no longer. Behold!
Behold! I'm beholden. I watch Elias's eager hands dance upon the trellises, and without any more than a simple flourish, dozens of flowers, this time full size and bloom, await my perusal.
Voila! My dear, your flowers.
A man of so many delectable talents. Don't we get like another image screen? I would love to see the flowers. My eyes and nose are drawn to 3 flowers in particular, none of which should be growing on a trellis. An act of defiance, paranormal willpower, or simply Elias forgetting his botany. He's stupid! Love him! A classic red rose. It seems to be a different variant than the one I brought inside with me, though not a climbing rose. Let me tell you something, climbing roses are fucking bitches. We have a climbing rose outside of my house, and that thing does everything but climb. Like, we've got a whole fucking house for it to grow up on, and it's like, oh, let me grow out this way, and it'll be like right across the sidewalk, right where we park the cars, so like you can't walk around the cars. Like, god damn, I fucking hate climbing roses. A dazzling orange zinnia. The color reminds me of soda I used to bring to the club room, though that's probably the least poetic thing to think about right now. It was the color of orange Fanta. And finally, a cute bunch of lyre flowers, vibrant and pink amongst the ever blossoms. I've always enjoyed their cheerful presence whenever I pass them by.
And there's more. Much more if these don't delight you.
No, I think one of these shall delight us both.
And which will that be, my dear?
Fuck! Okay. I'm trying to remember my my flower languages. Like, a classic red rose, that's love. And, traditional romance meanings. I think I know what a zinnia is. I think it means friendship. Like, I'm trying to remember. Like, a zinnia is friendship. A rose is love. I've never heard of a lyre flower. I mean, I've heard of lyre birds. I'm gonna Google that real fast. What is a lyre flower, and what does it mean? Lyre flower. A lyre flower. Oh, it's this sort of dangly flower. It looks like it's a subspecies of flower. And it's often called a bleeding heart. Floral languages. Elias, bear with me. It doesn't seem to have a meaning. Just to play it safe for this route, we'll go rose. For romance. A rose is always a classic choice. Red means love, yes?
Red on a rose means true love, undying love, eternal love.
Wow. Sounds about right. Taylor had me flick for a few books on flower over the years, hoping we could lure out some ghosts with the right blooms, but I could never keep the meaning straight in my head. Ew! Oh, I'm really fascinated with floral language. I think it's like probably one of the more interesting things. Maybe Elias was the type? Red roses were easy. Would he know more? Yes, I think it's the perfect choice for us then. Do we have a vase?
Of course.
With the flick of his wrist, a pile of dust on the other side of the room collapses, and in his grasp, he holds a perfectly clean, near-translucent glass vase.
Acceptable?
Perfect. Listen, he can turn dirt into vases. You telling me not to husband this man up? Oh, much more than acceptable. And something to cut the flowers, and gloves to handle the thorns.
Of course.
He provides me with the tools, and I set to work. Do I need to trim the stems before putting them in the vase? I think there was a trick to removing the thorns, but if I knew it, it's long gone.
Careful. Simply go slowly, and the rose will happily let its guard drop.
Elias, please. There are viewers. I guide the knife he provided slowly up the stem, as parallel as possible, and when the blade hits a thorn, it cuts through like butter.
There you are. See? Not a thing to be afraid of. Not a moment that needs to be rushed.
This whole day has been a rush, hasn't it? Sure, in a sense, I've literally met a ghost after years of trying, but also all the pressure. I have less than 48 hours to prepare for my own wedding, even if it was all fake. All the sudden, research, all the desperate planning, and not a breath in between. My hands slow to a crawl, and I savor the moment, pruning each thorn one by one. They fall to the greenhouse floor, decorating the tile in reddish-green points. Eventually, there are no more thorns to prune. I add another rose to the vase, hoping it looks okay, and then another. Bitch, do you know how many flowers are involved in a wedding? Like, many. So many. A lot.
Splendid. Now, did you have thoughts on accoutrements? Accent flowers, that is.
Damn, that's a big word, baby. Oh, right, this is just a half dozen rows, not full bouquet. I hadn't thought about it. If Elias is that into flowers, would you suggest some for us?
My pleasure and my honor. First, some baby's breath.
A classic?
Fake the flower language. If you get it right, he'll be happy. If you get it wrong, he'll have the joy of correcting you.
But Taylor's voice hisses in my ear. Baby's breath. That's something about youth, correct?
In this bouquet, more a symbol of innocence and purity.
Well, technically, yes and no. Like, it symbolizes innocence and purity, but also it's like, hopes that the union's gonna make some babies. Oh, I hope he doesn't get weird about purity, because I definitely cannot meet those Victorian standards. He does not need to know about my hoe era. Although that hoe era is making a comeback.
They work stunningly when used sparingly. One may expect that their small size must be bolstered by great numbers, but that's simply not true.
I tried to take his advice. The little white flowers slipped between the roses, resting like snowflakes suspended mid-fall. Elias could make roses bloom in winter, couldn't he? I think about what an odd wedding that would be, but his hands continued to guide mine, raising the baby's breath up a smidge. Sensual.
Do you see how that little bit of elevation gives the whole bouquet a sense of dynamism? Personality.
It's giving me something, Elias. How much is a smidge? Here? Let's
Here.
define smidge. He reaches out and his hand flows for the stems, for the petals, and for my fingers, lifting my hand, along with the flowers, ever so gently. Ah!
Just like that.
Ah! This is a bit too sensual for YouTube. And would we like more flowers in this bouquet?
Yes, I think so. What would you say to lemon balm?
I would say... Isn't that a tea?
I'd ask how closely related they are to lemons.
Taylor, shut up! There's Taylor again with the smart. Ugh. I swear, I took English. I understand how to read. There's Taylor with the snark again, of course.
Only some leaves, green and small. Perfect for filling in the gaps and adding a rich aroma.
We all about smells here. Do they mean something about sweetness? Probably best not to ask about sourness.
Sympathy and compassion. Though speaking of sweetness, these leaves do make a nice tea.
I was right again! Yeah, lemon balm is a tea. Ah, perhaps you could brew us a few cups when we're done here.
Oh, what an excellent idea. Yes, I think we shall have that lemon balm tea.
It makes me wonder, like, where the fuck is Taylor? Because, like, wasn't he parked, like, right outside? Taylor, you fucking bitch. Alright, let's save some of this for the kettle. I tuck some of the leaves around the edges of the vase. Following Elias's suggestion, with the baby's breath, I make sure to raise some up, too. I try to keep it beneath the more exciting flowers, but with every now and then, I make sure a few of the little buds of the baby's breath barely peek out from the bottoms of the lemon balm. Elias watches me with a polite smile, the same one I've seen so many times now, but his eyes are brighter, giving him away again. This time he's trying to downplay his joy. Baby, don't you downplay nothing. It's you and me. We're in it together. Would you like to help arrange?
I would love to.
Is there anything sexier than arranging flowers? And Elias returns his hands to the vase, carefully making sure that what he adds complements what I've composed. Even though I've never done this before, even though I've never looked so closely at a bouquet, I can tell what I've touched and what he's touched. It's covered in gross ectoplasm. And honestly, altogether, looks pretty good.
Lovely.
I know you are, but what am I? Thank you.
I think one last flower. And you should choose, my dear.
Oh, the scandal. He shows me two different flowers, one flat, delicate yellow petals, and one of thin, wispy strands of purple. I don't recognize either. If it's my choice again, I choose to savor it, to roll the flowers around in my head. Let them delight me, why not? I don't have to understand their meanings to find them beautiful. The yellow ones.
The yarrow. Excellent.
Yarrow. Isn't that the stuff like what they put on injuries in warriors' cats? Because I remember that, like they go and they chew up the yarrow and they spit it on your wounds. I'm showing my warrior cat kid knowledge. I admit I'm unfamiliar with these.
A symbol of everlasting love.
And cat spit.
Again?
Taylor! I chose everlasting love twice. Double eternity. I try not to think about it. They're only flowers after all. Lies, I'm sealing my fate. It's me and you till death do reunite us. Elias and I return our hands to the bouquet, adding the final touches.
The flowers look absolutely gorgeous, my dear. But still nowhere near as lovely as you.
This ghost is killing me. I'm gonna die before this game plays over. I know this is like cheesy and hammy, but like, damn, son. Thank you, Elias. I feel my heart hammering in my chest. They're just plants. Innocent little flowers. Sexy little flowers. Flowers with too many meanings, too many promises.
Is something the matter, dearest? You look a bit pale.
No, I'm just having apparently commitment issues. I, the player, am 100%, 110% committed to you. I must admit I'm a bit tired. Would it be alright for me to rest a little bit before we continue preparing for the ceremony?
Of course. You mustn't exert yourself too much. Please feel free to choose any room on the ground floor. Though, you'll have to excuse the state of disarray it may be in.
Baby, it's okay. Honestly, this big of a house, no staff to manage it, and them titties... Honey, you should not have to raise a damn finger. I won't allow it. Thank you, my love.
And do not worry about the mess here. I shall clean up and rejoin you after I check something in the study.
Check away, baby. Elias bows as I turn to leave the greenhouse. My steps feel heavy as I return to the hallway. I wasn't expecting floral arrangements to be that intense.
Hey, are you doing all right now?
No, touching flowers has got me hot and bothered, Taylor. I'll live.
Might be time to see what you can get up to before your rendezvous with Elias.
I nod my head, as if Taylor can somehow see me through the earpiece. Back to where it all began. The dust isn't so thick now. And while it doesn't look all too fabulous compared to the rest of the place, it looks a little less uninviting. Hey, you remember that painting I mentioned before? In the foyer?
On the second floor. Yep. What about it?
I can make a few details out of it better now. Maybe even get a pic of it. I test my foot on the first step and angle my camera up to snap a photo of the frame. When the deed is done, I text it to Taylor. Here you go. If I had to hazard a guess, then the style of painting would be Impressionism. It was all the rage before the late 19th century, so it'd fit the timeline. Know anything about the subject?
It's probably a portrait of one of the Gallagher ladies. What better way to flaunt wealth and status than by paying someone to preserve your likeness with expensive materials?
It depends. Sometimes, just having a lot of fabric on your clothes. Like, an exceedingly amount of fabric. I zoom in on the photo I took and study the details. I assume Taylor's doing the same. Those earrings and necklace. The size of that ring, too. Damn, that's too rich for my blood. No, give me that gaudy costume jewelry.
Probably the precious family jewels Elias was telling you about.
Mm-hmm. Taylor snickers. I roll my eyes with a groan.
Anyways, I'll look into this and see if I can get an exact match for who it might be. Keep hunting around?
Taylor, I am not your errand girl. I want to go taste a cake. I want to... I forget the third thing we were going to do. What was it? Oh, we were going to pick out jewelry for me to wear at the wedding. Cake? Roger that. I pick one of the many doors in the foyer and swing it open, wincing a little bit at how badly it needs to be oiled. Huh. Elias wasn't kidding when he said some of the rooms would be in disarray. It definitely doesn't look as nice as the study. I think this is a living room. Or a lounge. There's couches. And a deer! The patterns have all worn off them, and the material is torn open in a few places. I run my hand over the back of the love seat.
Anything interesting there?
Yeah, a deer! Aside from the couches, there's a rocking chair, a mounted deer head, and a painting of a building, and a grandfather clock, and a bookshelf, and some dirty walls, and dirty ceilings, and dirty floor. Elias hasn't worked his magic here, so it's a bit decrepit. I'll investigate everything before I take a look at the books. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that anyways. Look at that deer head! I walk over to the mounted deer head and peer into its soulless, long dead eyes. Taxidermy always freaked me out as a kid, and that never changed as I got older. But I love taxidermy. The Gallagher men liked to hunt for sport, didn't they?
All of them but Elias.
'Cause he's too sickly and he likes flowers. From my interactions with him, he probably wouldn't even hurt a fly. I don't see the point of killing animals for fun. Like, at least eat the venison, you know? I'm actually surprised I don't see any rifles mounted on the walls for decoration.
How big are the antlers on that deer anyway?
puny. Really small, nothing to write home about.
Did you know that in the winter, deer, moose, and other mammals who grow antlers will just shake them clean off? Maybe they shot that deer in the spring when it was regrowing them.
Then that was super unsporting of them. Huh, thanks for the fun trivia. Let's look at the clock. I peer at the face of the grandfather clock, frowning when I notice the hands are missing. I know analog clocks are a thing of the past, but I really like the aesthetics of a ticking clock. There's something about them that's just so cool.
You think so? I feel like they're too inaccurate. If a gear stops turning or the battery dies out, then you have to manually set it again. Digital clocks hook up to the internet so they don't have that problem.
Yeah, but then the internet goes out and then you fucking can't tell what time it is. Taylor, you're missing the point. It's about the aesthetics. We've already established I'm a freak. Taylor lets out a loud grumble instead of what's bothering Taylor lets out a loud grumble instead of bothering to argue with me. Painting. Another impressionist painting, this time of a building's facade. It doesn't seem to be the manner, though. So I wonder if this painting has any significance. Do you know if there's any secret passages in the mansion?
I wouldn't doubt it since the Gallaghers had this place built just for them. But I wouldn't know where they are. They're secret for a reason.
Fat load of help you are, Taylor. Gee. Thanks. I tried to lift a painting just enough to see if there's anything behind it. There isn't. I guess we're done looking. Hey Taylor, I've looked at everything aside the shelf, so I'm gonna check out the books. Anywhere, words? Words, Taylor?
Tell me what you're looking at.
A shelf. I scan the spines for titles. An encyclopedias, a dictionary, thesaurus, a Bible, Bible hymns, assortment of Shakespearean plays. I pull out an old tome of Romeo and Juliet and flip through the yellowed pages, or at least try to. The corners of the pages disintegrate in my fingers.
Ha ha! Bingo! I finally got a match on that painting from earlier.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah? Who is it? I slide the book in my hand onto the shelf before hazarding a seat on one of the couches. Moments later, Taylor texts me an old black and white photo.
Check it out. That's Mama Gallagher herself. Mildred loved to host tea parties and dances at the manor. Always made a grand show of the family bling while she was at it.
What, we not gonna see a picture of her? I don't blame her. She's very beautiful.
She was the envy of the land until that Gallagher curse killed her.
Did she have her son's assets?
Anyways, that's one mystery solved. Think there's anything else in here?
Didn't even get a picture of her. I stand up and check the shelf again. Oh, there's a children's picture book about clowns.
Don't open that!
Clowns, Taylor, clowns. Okay, nerd. Well, nothing else really calls out to me, so I'm going to the next room over. Bye! I pause momentarily. Over?
Roger that.
I slip back into the foyer and stare down the other doors. A map of this place would really help now. Well, here we go. I pushed past another door at random and peeked my head inside before walking in. A modestly sized room with a rectangular wooden table surrounded by chairs, along with a small chandelier at the ceiling. I think this is the dining room. Seems suited for eating meals here with large family or guests, at least. It's in much better condition than a living room.
What else is in there?
Fabulous curtains. Fireplace, table, chairs, lamps, and a fancy-looking cabinet. More books in there, it looks like.
Take a look around and tell me if there's anything interesting before you indulge in literature again.
Lame! Roger that. Inspect the fireplace. I head over to the fireplace and start knocking on the walls. I hope there's a secret passage here. No matter where I knock, I don't find any sections that feel or sound different.
No dice.
Nope, no dice.
Keep at it, bud. Your dream will come true one day.
My dream of secret passages! Good table. This is such a nice table. It's got a lacquered wood finish and everything.
Can you stick to the mission, please?
No! Let me appreciate antique furniture, Taylor! Hey, I'm doing a lot of walking here. Let me sit down for a moment. Taylor huffs in my ear while I plop down on one of the chairs, which happens to be surprisingly cushy. You know, you never really answered my question from before.
Which one?
About the hypothetical clown ghost servant.
No, we are not talking about clowns!
What if a ghost clown man made you a blueberry pancakes in a bid to gain your friendship and trust? Ghost pancakes from a ghost clown man.
I don't even like blueberries, and waffles are superior in every way.
Lies!
They can hold syrup, melted butter, or whatever you top them with, so you lose less to your plate.
Lies! Heresy! Taylor! But Taylor, I keep telling you, you need to lay your face down on a fresh stack of fluffy pancakes at least once in your life. It's like being hugged by a litter of puppies. Okay, that is true, pancakes are really soft.
I am not putting food on my face, or my face into food.
Weenie!
No, end of conversation. Get back to the mission.
Boo. I click my tongue in annoyance, and he clicks back. Floor lamps. I could use more light in here, but these lamps are probably dead, aren't they? Yeah, they're just as dead as Elias. But ting! I wonder if collectors would go wild over some antique light bulbs.
Of all the things in this mansion, you're thinking of stealing the light bulbs?
Again, we have previously established I'm a freak. What, you want me to walk out here with a table?
Fair enough.
I hold one of the lamps in my hand and try to twist the bulb off, but it doesn't budge. Scratch that, I'm not gonna bother.
Hey, wanna know another fun fact? Thomas Edison didn't actually invent the light bulb. He bought the patent from two dudes named Henry Woodward and Matthew Evan.
This game is just full of fun facts, you know?
Edison was able to claim fame thanks to the fact that he had enough capital to finance improvements to the design.
Moral of the story, Edison's a jackass. So the moral of the story is that the rich get richer and the poor stay starving?
My point was that popular history gets written by the winners, but that works too.
Yeah. Finished looking? Nothing else to look at but the cabinet now.
Let me know what you find.
I kneel down by the floor and inspect the books on the bottom. These seem to be cookbooks for various European cuisines. Irish, Polish, Dutch, and so forth. No dessert cookbooks here. But maybe they're behind the glass.
Right. Elias wanted to bake a cake for you. Would he even be able to eat it?
Doesn't matter. He wants to cook for me. He did have a tea set in the study, so maybe it's like food offerings for the departed?
Can you say that again? The line's coming out again.
I said... There's static in the earpiece, and I'm suddenly overcome with dizziness. I groan while trying to get back upright, grabbing the back of a chair for balance. Oh no, I died! Suddenly my vision darkens and the room spins. My feet can't touch the ground and I'm falling down into a yawning abyss. I open my eyes. Behind me, the chandelier starts swinging and the fireplace roars to life, and yet I'm freezing, like there's ice slushing from my veins again. It's horrible, and I'm scared. This is definitely the same dining room, but everything feels wrong. I grip the chair harder and lift my head. That was a mistake. Inside the glass of the cabinet is the figure of a woman. Ow! She's far away, but she's coming closer and closer and closer, with a knife in her hand and a Cheshire Cat grin painted across her lips. Dripping with bloodlust, her gaze makes a pinboard of me. I can't breathe. I have to get out of here. How can I escape? Nunchuck! Sleeper hold! In an act of defiance, I spin in the opposite direction and try to make a break for it, but my feet are cemented in place.
Hey, can you hear me?
Karate chop!
Hear me?
Karate chop! Karate chop! Get away from me! My knees give out and I collapse back into the chair.
Are you okay? Were you attacked?
I saw a woman. Not physically.
Static took over the line again, and I heard something garbled from your end. Some kind of whispering or chanting? Was that you?
Yeah, sure, Taylor. I'm chanting for fun. I'm chanting and I had an asthma attack and I fell out. Yeah, chanting for fun. No, that wasn't me. I swallow deep gasps of air, trying to regain my breath as Taylor's voice rings in my ear.
Hey, what did you see?
Woman. DuPont. Violet DuPont. And that's where we're gonna pause the episode. Like, I feel like we've made some great progress. We had some steamy floral arrangement action. We've snooped around this man's house. We discussed clowns. And then we got attacked by a woman with a fucking knife. Hey, next time, we're gonna try and bake a cake. Or get murdered viciously by a gold-digging hussy. Maybe fuck a ghost? I don't know. Bye! I'm having sex with a ghost, 'cause that's what I love the most. Do. Elias, did you buy smut and then rebind it with different covers so you could get... Elias?